Hey everyone, it's Annette Green back again working in my 2023 weekly memory keeping planner. I'm using the vintage black full-size planner from Elizabeth Craft Designs. I am working through my year of 2023 1 week at a time. One page is 1 week. So thank you for joining me. If you're new, welcome. And if you've been here before, welcome back. So I have gotten all the way to week 27. And this planner is now full. So I am going to start in a new planner today with week 28. And I have started my planner. I just have my pages in here pre-cut using the Planner Essentials. I don't remember which one. 4? Everything's packed away. I don't remember. Whatever that full page die is with no tabs on it. To cut out just a bunch of random pages that are fairly neutral. And I've pulled out my first page. It's up here. You see all this stuff laying around. But I just wanted to mention that if you wanted to stick around and take a full walkthrough of the Sidekick Denim Blue Tranquility Planner that we made in Illinois, just this last weekend. I just got home last night. I will walk you through that at the end of today's video. As you can see here, I've got stuff all over the place, and I figured what I would do since we're moving in like 2 weeks. So half of the craft room is definitely packed away. All of my dies are packed away except my own release over here and just a few others that I know I'm going to need just to get through the next couple of weeks. So rather than, starting from scratch with a bunch of dies, I figured I would go to one of my kits left over from this planner class. Now these are my extras. I didn't have a full kit or anything like that. Don't get excited. But I do have these little bags of extras when I go and teach. And that way, if somebody messes up, I can just reach into the baggie and pull out the pieces. So I had all these wonderful pieces from my bags. And so I'm just going to strictly work with those. I did find a pair of scissors that I had already die cut and colored from something else. And that is from Planner Essentials. Actually, this is a Sidekick Essentials die. SE, see that? Number 2028 Sidekick Essentials 26, the yarn card with scissors. It's a wonderful little page that fits in the Sidekick size. It has these scissors on the edge and then has some fun scissors here and little tags and that yarn card. We did use this in the planner that I'll show you at the end on one of the pages. But I had this already done, sitting over in my little extras bin over there. I have some fussy cut stuff. I got a butterfly, I got tags, I got all kinds of stuff already cut out and ready to go. And I have taken a look at my photos, and boy, I have a ton. And as I was laying in bed this morning trying to get back to sleep, I was excitedly thinking about this page and how on earth was I going to try and get all the photos that I took from the week into this. And I just can't do it. There's no way, because I took more than 30 pictures. So what I have decided instead, what I thought would be fun, is I'm going to pick like some highlight photos, and then I'm just going to add all the photos to the end of this video. And it's of people, it's of the classroom, it's all kinds of pictures. So I'll just kind of do a little something to music at the end, because I want to document everybody that I met and interacted with and shared time with in the classroom, but I just don't have the space for it. So I figure this is the second best way to do that. So you can see I have a couple of things here ready, and this wasn't even from the class. I just happened to have one of these photo frames, and it may or may not make it. It's kind of big, but the colors matched, so if I can make that work, I would really love to. And of course, this is all from 49 and Market Tranquility collection, if I didn't say that already. I do have 1, 2, 3 main photos here, but I wanted to work in a 4th, and I did happen to put aside, and this is why, Planner Essentials 4. This is the one, the full page die right here. But I was thinking I might want to do like little photo frames, and so I think I'm going to try very hard to get one of these to also fit in here. I do have to get my 28 in here as well. I've got this over here that may or may not make it. It was just a little ticket that was part of the cut-aparts. So anyway, that's how I begin. And I'm going to go take a look at my photos now and see what's going to work here, and I'll print them out. Wow, I've got stuff everywhere. Okay, I went in and printed my photos. There are two of the same photo here just because I wanted to check something. And I think it's going to be this smaller one. But I thought, no, it's going to be that one. I like that a little bit better. So sometimes I do that. Okay, and if you're wondering, like many do, what I do to get my photos this size on a piece of 8.5 by 11 paper. First of all, my printer is a Canon Pixma TR8620 and I use HP Advanced Photo Paper, glossy. That's just me, works for me. And I work in Photoshop Express and I find out the size of the photos that I need according to my little photo mats. And then I go into Photoshop Elements, and resize the photos to those sizes. Now, I do have a video I will link below on how I do that in case you're interested. But I do have my 28 here, and I just wanted to show you. Remember this little guy? I said maybe we'll work in a photo there. And on my sheet here, there's this little photo. This is a photo of the store, One Paper Place in Illinois. It's a really cute store, but this tiny little picture does nothing for this cute little store. And I just figured, you know, rather than popping it into a frame, we're not going to do that. So that's not going to make the cut. Sorry, Christine. Cute store. Definitely a cute store. But I thought maybe I would cut it out of pretty paper like that, and the piece that pops out I'm going to maybe put back in on the other side so that shows through because I think that's cute. And then maybe my 28 will kind of fit on there somehow. It's a little bigger, but I think it's going to look okay. We'll see. But I did want to point out to you, like when you're doing things like this, yes, you could just grab some plain cardstock and cut that out and it would probably be just fine. But I like to take pattern paper, and this was a extra page die left over from the class, and I could have cut out here. That would have been pretty too. Lots of texture and color and variation. But instead I cut it from over here, so I got a little bit of that butterfly, and something about cutting something small from something big and patterned, just, I don't know, I just think that's so nice, don't you? And it would be way better, I think, than just plain pink. So that's just a little something. So what else do I have here? I think I'm going to use this cute little banner we had worked onto one of our pages. We layered these two together a little bit, just as a little pretty treatment at the top of the page. I'm pretty sure I've used this banner a couple times in some other pages, but that's okay. I do have one of my lace borders from my die set. I have already journaled this little tag ticket thingy, and you saw my scissors. So I'm just going to play around for a little bit now that I have all my elements before me and try to get some sort of composition and plan here. Alright, so as I was going to cut these out and throw this one away, I stopped and I thought, well, here's a little teaching moment, I guess, if you're interested. You know, when you're making decisions about your photos and how to crop them and how big to make them and all that, I just wanted to show you, this is the original photo, okay? Get rid of all that extra stuff. So it was a very tall photo. We've got the exit sign there. We got the ceiling and the light. We don't need any of that stuff. But sometimes people feel like, well, that's the photo. That's the way I have to use it. Definitely not. We don't need people's feet and ankles. We can just do a little amputation situation and nobody gets hurt, right? And then going further, when you've decided, okay, I like this cropping, then you can do maybe a couple different sizes like I did if you have the time and the desire. But let's just compare, okay? This is pretty nice, right? Everybody's in it. Nobody's chopped off in the middle of the face. It's pretty good. But I sure would like to see our faces maybe just a little bit more. And there is nothing at all wrong with cropping really, really close. I mean, you know, it's the side of my hair is cut off and her shoulder. Poor Joanne, she got a little hair cut over here too. But I think it looks nicer. We're closer. You can see more details in our happy little faces. and we definitely don't have any ceiling or light or exit sign in there. So, I mean, that's just a really tiny little detail between these two, but that's how I make a lot of my decisions. And sometimes people think, oh my gosh, you take the best photos. Well, I didn't even take this photo. It's just maybe sometimes how you decide to crop the photo. So as I am gluing this photo into place, I will chat a little bit about what a wonderful weekend it was. It was a whirlwind for me because we drove from South Carolina, my husband and I, all the way through to Illinois, to Frankfort, where the store is, and that was a good 13 hours. Maybe a little more because of traffic by the time we got to Illinois on Thursday evening. And then we turned around and headed right back home Sunday. Class, we had 2 classes. They were the same class, just to 2 groups because of the size of the store and how they could accommodate just so many. So Friday afternoon we had a class, and then Saturday morning we had a class, and then I went home Sunday. So it was jam-packed. And of course, as you saw in the photo, maybe we got to see Jamie quite a few times. So that was great. I think I'm going to go ahead and use Hickory Smoke, which is a nice medium gray, and mine's a little dry, so that's good. It's not too dark. I'm going to use that to ink the edges of everything. That's the color that we used in the Tranquility Planner class, and that seemed to work pretty nicely. So there's one down, and then we've got some others. And these 2 pieces, you know, this is my postage stamp die, the set that has the little nesting rectangles, so that's going to be next. And I believe that's going to be this fun group right here. So check us out. This was the fun table. Everybody was having fun, but these girls were having extra fun. And I thought they'd get a kick out of this. I said they wanted to take a picture, and I said, all right, well, just scoot your stuff out of the way because I'm just going to slide right up here in the middle of this table. So there's my poor bare feet. I didn't want to get up there in my shoes, but it might be gross. I don't know that my bare feet are on their table. Nobody seemed to mind. We had a good laugh over it, and they were so much fun. So I'm going to put them in the next photo mat and then work us in. This was us celebrating the last night we were there, and we went to dinner together. Here's another example of cropping photos. I mean, look at their faces. We cropped them right off. That's why I like to stay in the middle. I don't get cropped. I am using my We Are Memory Keepers Crocodile Corner Chomper. It's the stub and scallop one because that's what I used here, and I thought that would nest in there kind of nicely. So Paul got a big chunk out of his chin and his head, and Jamie's not too bad up there. But that's how that looks. Looks good. And then we got our fun girls here on this one. So I'm going to ink these up as well. Okay, so we've got our little photo mat and our girls, and we've got us here. I was going to chat a little bit while I glue these together. If you ever make your way to the Chicago area, suburbs of Chicago, kind of a little further out there, definitely try to make a stop into Christine's beautiful store. One Paper Place. Wonderful staff there, beautiful store, beautiful area. And then you're not too far from Chicago if you want to go into the city. And the people in the class, I will say, Friday afternoon, we didn't finish. This was a full planner, you'll see. However, Saturday, I was determined to get those students to finish, and I would say 90% of them did. Definitely had a whole lot of fun. I know I did. It seemed like they did. I hope they did. I had a prize bag for one lucky winner each class at the end, full of Elizabeth Craft Design goodies and a few flower packs and things left in my stash that I thought would coordinate nicely. So I'm just continuing to ink with this Hickory Smoke here. And I think I'm going to do with this double banner the same thing we did in the planner class. And I'm just going to glue these together, but kind of offset just a little bit. Like the pink is sort of a drop shadow. And while you're watching me glue, I wonder how many out there are going to be participating in the Elizabeth Crafts summer planner class this Saturday, the 22nd. I'll be teaching it, Facebook Live. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's probably too late at this point because you have to order a kit, you have to do homework and be ready and all that stuff. These are hole reinforcements that I had left over from a page, and they're cut out of this really pretty paper. So I'm going to take a second and not bore you here now, and I'm going to ink the edges of these because I feel like they're going to need it. I do have these backed with the Elizabeth Crafts double-sided adhesive. And the hardest part here is when you pop out that middle piece because it's so sticky, getting it to get off your finger. Flicking it over here, and it just landed on the top of my foot. Oh well. It's not the first time. What was I going to say? I was going to tell you all something. Oh, in the class, I made so many new friends, new crafty friends, and some of them are going to be at the retreat in Banff, Canada, the Elizabeth Craft Designs retreat. And some of them are going to be on my cruise, and some of them are doing both. So that was cool. Let's see. I'm just going to fiddle around with a layout here. I kind of had a plan. I think that this was going to be over here, and these girls were going to be, let's see, can we do this or this? I don't want to cover up anybody. And then us down here. I think we were going to be down here. I don't know. Oh, Paul's going to get his head covered up a little bit again. Well, I mean, you know, he is kind of losing his hair, so I'm sure he doesn't care. I can say these things because he can't hear me. Let's see. Do I have room? Oh, I don't know. Well, that could be fun. Where's my scissors going to go? Well, these are the things we think about as we build the page. Well, now that just doesn't make sense. Heart. That's nice. That could go there. Oh gosh, I have borders yet. I don't want to junk it up too much. That would be pretty down below because there's a little white up there. I might slip that under there. Are we even going to see it? Maybe I'll flip it the other way. I think that might be better. Get that under. We'll see a little more of it that way. We still got our 28 and this little guy. This might not make it. Gosh, after all that. It's really cute though. I want it to be here. Maybe this won't make it. All right, let me give it some thought. Let me come up with some ideas. I got a lot of other fun stuff here. Oh, and I have my little journaling ticket. Oh my gosh, that's got to go on here. Okay, I need to clearly take a moment and I'll be back. Okay, I just needed that moment. So I have decided, because I have to have this on here and see how I've cut it, this might not make it. So I'm going to put this up here like so. And as pretty as this is, I'm going to have to cover it up a little bit. So I'm going to put that there, I think. And then I'm going to slide us under here a little bit. And we still see our nice little border. That's good, right? The 28 I tried to use in the white color, but I didn't like it because I think I have to use it down here. And so I recut it out of this pink gingham. And poor Paul, he's like getting crowded out down here. I don't know. We might put 2/8, kind of like that this time, just to fit it in there. I think that'll be okay. I just don't want it to look like 2/3. It looks kind of funny. So anyway, here's the basics, and then we have our little banner, which I thought looked okay right here, as long as nobody's getting covered up in this photo. I did have the word happiness already stamped out. I was thinking about, I do have the scissors. I don't know if the scissors make sense. I guess the scissors make sense. This might be it. What do we think? Do we like it? Would we rather put a butterfly? Okay, I'm going to cut out the butterfly really quick. I do have this flower, but I think it's too much pink. Yeah, too much pink. We're going to do this butterfly. All right, I think that I have figured this out where I can just barely get that 28 in there. I have everything else down. I just have to get that on there and my little banner. And you'll notice I don't use any kind of foam tape. I don't really pop things up in my planner because I know, especially based on the first half of the year so far, that by the time I get photos in here, it gets thick really fast, and I want to keep it as kind of skinny as possible so I can get all the way through the year and it fits. So I will tend to not pop things up and just get them right on the page. So we just have 28 here, and this will be done. And we'll take a look at that planner if you'd like to see it. There will be no kits. I'll just say it right now because I know somebody's going to ask me, did you have any kits left? I did not. I made 60, and that was plenty. And whenever I do a class for a store, I do not replicate that class or sell those directions to people who did not come to the class. And that way, it's very exclusive to those people who paid the money and traveled. And you know, some people had to stay in hotels or drive very far. And for me to just share it out there on the internet for other people to just buy, doesn't seem quite fair, I don't think. I hope I've been in frame this whole time. I just noticed how close I was. But there's my page. Very nice. I got the journaling in and everything. I got the number in there. I'm pretty happy with it. And I'm going to pop it into my planner. First page of my second part 2 of 2023. And there we go. So if you're done watching, thank you, and I'll see you next week. And if you'd like to stick around, we'll take a look at that planner, and I'll pop some photos up of the fun that we had over the weekend. Just wanted to say a real quick shout out to Lulu, who was in the Friday class, who made and gave me this really fun homemade washi tape that she made. Both the back here, she has some stuff, and you can just peel this right off of here. Of course, these colors didn't work for me today, but I hope to work them into a planner page one day. These are really cool. She was very talented, and she made some homemade hole reinforcements as well. So Lulu, if you're watching, I'm sorry I didn't get it worked into that page over there, but maybe next time for sure. So this is the planner. This is the Sidekick, little denim blue, and we had the option to decorate the cover if they had time, and I don't think anyone had time, so they took it home, and I'm curious to see how many will actually do it. It was optional. I gave them the pieces, and if you're wondering what kind of adhesive would you use to adhere to the front of a planner like this, I used matte medium, gel medium, soft gel matte medium. That's what I used. And I have inked the edges and just glued it right to the top of here. I will link to a video that I have done about decorating planner covers that you might find interesting if you like that idea. So I won't spend a whole lot of time. I'll just kind of flip through. They did have the option to do 2024 if they wanted to. I gave it to them die cut. If they wanted to make this into a planner, they could. And here we go. They did some fun things with watercolor, kind of using ink pads and a water brush. We have a lot of my dies here, the doily die, the stemmed flowers. There's my bee stamp. Of course, the postage stamp, the lace border here on the right in that same pink gingham. And again, this is 49 in market paper, the Tranquility. And we have the playful flourishes that they colored in a little bit. We've got the bee that I stamped for them, and then they did some coloring, a little pocket here. the honeycomb. And the paper was just so pretty. I hated to cover it up. So there was just little things to put on each page. More of the lace trims, some cut aparts, a little fussy cutting. This page is really all good on its own, but they did add the other part of that doily from the page earlier. It's a beautiful paper collection with this particular planner. You can see how well this matches here. It's just gorgeous. And stole this idea from Esther Glass. She did this in one of her videos, and I had to share that little technique with the class. So thank you, Esther. They loved it. Photo mats and fussy cuts, and we did my little playful flowers here with some more of the watercoloring. My small doilies with the circle inserts. This page was so pretty. We hardly had anything on it, just this little bit of trim up here with one of my playful flourishes. And this was a little tuck spot with another one of the postage stamps and a playful flourish. A little bit of twine on a tag up there. A die cut butterfly down here. Photo mat, stemmed flowers, and then the bird. He was a big hit. Everybody really kind of liked him. We had fun coloring him and layering him up and putting him on this pretty page. And then there is that die that I told you about with the coordinating stamp, the yarn card with scissors. There that is, and these are old spool stamps from Stampers Anonymous way back when. This page has absolutely nothing on it. It's just too pretty, and it has just whole reinforcements. Postage stamp, fussy cuts. I mean, it wasn't a difficult class. It was very simple, really. A couple of fun little techniques, and then just assembly. And that was where, everyone just sort of took off on their own and worked at their own pace and got their pages done at their leisure while they chatted and laughed and had a good time. So we have this little clip here, so a photo can go on here. We got a little tag with an eyelet. And then we use I forget what the die is called, and I'm sorry, I don't have it because it's packed away, but this little pocket page, I think, for the sidekick, we cut apart that unit and made this into just like a triple pocket place. So there's even one more pocket here, and there you go. There's that little banner. So that's it for that. And next, if you'd like to stick around even further, I'll show you the fun that we had with just a couple of short videos. Sorry, they're going to be tall. And some fun photos of these lovely, lovely crafters that came out to see me for the class.